Hey everybody, thanks for joining us today. Can you believe it? Here we are at 2024, and I'm excited. We've had a really good beginning to this year. I met with the Waynetown Church last night. We had kind of a leaders planning meeting, and I've already had pastors calling today to make appointments to talk to us about praying, and so that's all good. For me, that's really good. And I also want to say that I want to remind you of the 8 core words for our ministry, and that's Jesus Christ, obviously present and actively in charge. I know I repeat that over and over, but I have just seen it work, and I've seen the Lord bless not only corporately, but individually, me. I need to feed my soul with His presence and in His truth. All that being said, I've got a message, a brand new message that's coming from Revelation chapter 4 and 5. I'm going to be sharing it with the Waynetown Church. I'm excited, and it's called The Future Holder. You know, I'm probably talking to some pastors, and you're setting goals for your church, or you're making plans, and you're thinking about really hoping this is going to be a great year for you. But I just want to remind you that all ministry initiatives begin at the throne of God. You know, we study the Bible, and down through the Bible, century after century, you see that it's the Lord that initiates things. I mean, He initiated creation, right? And then you see man fall into sin, and He initiated the flood. And then He initiated the events to correct the sin at the Tower of Babel, and we have nations, and on it goes. So it is in Revelation chapter 5 when John saw the throne, and this is what John saw. And I saw in the right hand of Him who sat on the throne, that would be God, a scroll written inside and on the back, sealed with 7 seals. So this would be like the throne of God and the will of God, all sealed up. Then I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the scroll to loose its seals?" No one in heaven, on earth, or under the earth was able to open the scroll or to look at it. Wow. So we have the throne of God, the will of God, but it can't go forward. So I wept much, because no one was found worthy to open and read the scroll or to look at it. But one of the elders said to me, "Don't weep. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah," and guess who that is, right? "The root of David has prevailed to open the scroll and to loose its 7 seals." And I looked, and behold, in the midst of the throne, 4 living creatures, in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb, as though it had been slain, having 7 horns, 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God. Then He came and took the scroll out of the right hand of Him who sat on the throne. So who was worthy to take the will of God and have it go forth? It was Jesus. Okay, guess who the head of the church is? Right? Jesus. I think that's so awesome. And then everything there in the throne room, it just like explodes. "You are worthy to take the scroll, to open its seals, for you were slain. You redeemed us to God by your blood out of every tribe and tongue and people and nation. You've made us kings and priests to our God, and we shall reign." You know, if you think about it, I wrote it down this way. When the people of God worship, really worship the Lamb of God, they receive the will of God from the throne of God. And that's what we're all after. I know you pastors, you're in leadership, and you say, really, all we want is God's will, knowing that that's what real success really is. You know, the will of God for the glory of God. It all comes from the throne of God through the Lamb of God. And when we worship Him, really worship Him, it happens. And so I would say, don't make it complicated. Keep it simple. Just do your very best to call that whole church to worship humbly before the Lamb of God. And you'll have God's best for 2024. God bless. We'll stay in touch. worthy worship.
Mhm.
What are they, So, anyway, that's my Sunday message. So,
Awesome, that's good. When you were reading that, it reminded me of Ron Hamilton's song "Worthy Is the Lamb."
oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
I don't know his, but I know worthy is the lamb that was slain. That was...